Hi everyone, my name is Julie. This is Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. I talk about books on this channel, mainly books about magic, and if you'd like to see more of that, you can subscribe down below. And today we are going to be talking about my book haul for the last couple of months. Hello everyone and welcome to I think I'm calling this my spring book haul. I'm not sure when the last time I had a book haul was, but I know I picked up a number of books since then. Some of these are special editions, some of these are new books that I want to add to my TBR, some are ones that I've already read and enjoyed. But today I really want to start with the special editions because they are the prettiest and I'm most excited for these. So the first one here is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This just came out recently. I got the Waterstones edition when I ordered a copy of Faithbreaker from Waterstones, which I think I've already shown you in a book haul, and this came later. It's absolutely stunning. I love the sprayed edges and I love the inside flaps. Gorgeous. Can't wait to read this one. This sounds like a mixture of The Last Great American Dynasty as well as Evelyn Hugo, which intrigues me so much, and I really enjoyed the few Emily Henry books that I have read. I haven't read her whole backlist yet, so I am really excited to get to this one and thinking I might have to save it for like a beach trip read. I also picked up a special edition of The Prospects by K.T. Hoffman. This is a baseball romance about a trans main character in the minor leagues, I believe, and he has a romance with his arch nemesis, I think. And I'm really excited to read this. I haven't read this yet, but this puts me up to 2 copies. But since I'm such a baseball fan, knowing that this had the really cool baseball sprayed edges, I definitely wanted to get myself a copy, and I'm really excited to get to this one. Despite putting it on so many TBRs, I need to get to this really soon. I believe at this point I have shown you my Waterstones version of Faithbreaker, but I also got the Illumicrate version recently. This is so stunning and I absolutely love it so much. I know I showed it off in a vlog, but I really wanted to show everyone the gorgeousness that is this Illumicrate book because I simply can't get over it. I simply cannot get over it. But I think I love this blue cover even more than the purple cover, which is saying something. But this is the third and final book in the Fallen Gods trilogy, which I have 3 copies because I love this series to pieces, and sometimes you just can't resist. Then my final special edition set is actually the unplugged box of House of Bane and Blood by Alexis Minard, and these books arrived on my doorstep and I couldn't stop staring at them. They are so pretty. Like, there is so much to look at. Every surface is a special edition. It's so gorgeous. I absolutely love these. I'm so excited. These are my first set of this book. I actually pre-ordered these before I had even read House of Bane and Blood. This book sounded like something that exactly fit for me. It is Peaky Blinders coded, it is Grishaverse coded, and we also have 2 really awesome main characters that I absolutely fell in love with. And so, I mean, I'm glad I pre-ordered them. That was the first book. Then we also have City of Mirth and Malice, which is also absolutely stunning. Like, I can't get over these. I showed these to my sister and she's like not as big a book person as I am. She likes to read, but she's not quite as a collector as I am. And she was like, those are gorgeous. We both just sat and stared at all of the different pieces of this for so long. I'm simply never going to stop staring at these, so I'm so happy I was able to order. Then we're going to talk about a few books that I have picked up recently from events and such. The first 2 are by Rosie Danan. The first is Fan Service, which is her newest release, and the other is Do Your Worst. I actually got to see her in conversation with K.T. Hoffman that I just talked about with The Prospects at my local bookstore, and got to see them talk about the release of Fan Service, in which we're following a washed up TV star who accidentally starts turning into the wolf like he pretended to do on TV, and he enlists a fan of the show who, you know, still posts on the forums and such in order to try to figure out why he's turning into a wolf, and I believe a romance blossoms along the way. This feels like a Julie book, that it is a little bit paranormal, it's a little bit romance, it's a little bit all the things, and I don't know, it just has the vibes that could really work for me, so I'm excited to try this. I decided to go to the event because this seemed paranormal romancy enough that it would work for me. And then while I was there, I heard them post Do Your Worst, which is about a curse. It's another paranormal romancy vibe that I was really interested in, so I decided to pick up the two. Rosie Danan was basically like, I have 2 contemporary romances and 2 paranormal romances, and I decided to pick up both paranormal romances while I was there because that's my jam. I also picked up a copy of the Murderbot Diaries. This is the bind up of the first 2 volumes. These are the 2 that I have read so far, and I actually would like to reread them because I kind of dropped. I've been keeping up with the Wayward Children series recently, but I have really fallen off my reread and like jump back into this series. Murderbot is a security droid that has hacked its governance module, which means that it basically gets to do what it wants, but it doesn't want anyone to know that this happened because then they would be in trouble. So Murderbot decides to just watch TV and wants to be left alone, but they have to help out the people that employ them occasionally, and I believe this is the story of where it takes off from there. I've read the first 2 volumes, like I said, but not a lot stuck, so I have been wanting to jump back into this, and picking up this bind up seems like a good way to go. Also, I know it's being turned into a TV show, so I was anxious to check it out and reread before that happens. I also picked up Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. This is the second book in the Gideon the Ninth series, which I've been meaning to reread because I really want to jump back into Harrow. I adored Gideon the Ninth, but it's another book that I have put on the shelf for long enough that I don't remember the finer details. In the first book, we're following Gideon as she becomes a bodyguard to Harrow as Harrow travels off planet to a competition type event, and while there, Harrow makes Gideon the promise that if she helps defend Harrow, Harrow will let her leave their home planet, which Harrow has been thwarting Gideon's attempts for years. So that's kind of where we kick off the book. This is Lesbian Necromancers in Space, that is the tagline, and I love it. I loved this world. I loved these characters. I can't wait to jump into this book, which I said originally when I read the first book, and I haven't kept that energy up, so I need to go back. I need to go back to this. Then I finally picked up a copy of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This is the first book in the series. I have been told so many times that I am probably going to enjoy this book. Like, I've been told multiple times that this will line up with my reading tastes, and several people I know that have read it I agree with on a lot of things. So I definitely wanted to check this out. In this, we're following, I believe, Emily Wilde, who is working on an encyclopedia of fairies. Emily's really good at research and finding out about the fairies, but she's not so good at figuring out people. So when she shows up to this town trying to find a very elusive type of fairy, she has to try and figure out how she's going to do this without any means of befriending the townsfolk. And I believe we jump off from there. I'm really interested to try this and I'm just really excited to try this at some point, and I keep forgetting about trying it, so I decided to pick up a copy to remind me. Then the last one I picked up because it sounded really interesting and I just got it off my local indies new release table. It is The Gentleman and His Valsmith by Rebecca Ide. This sounds so interesting, and it sounds like a lot of different things. In this, we're following Nick, who is destined for a marriage of convenience, but he doesn't expect that his bride is going to be his father's arch nemesis's daughter. So like, we have enemies to lovers here, we have a marriage of convenience, and then also it sounds like there's a negotiator here for this like marriage of convenience, and she is Nick's ex-lover of some type. And then there is also a line here that says, when a dead body turns up, tensions within the castle thickens. The first death is brushed off as an unfortunate accident, but a second reveals something sinister is happening. So there's a lot of elements here. It sounds really interesting. It's giving me a lot of really interesting vibes, and I cannot wait to try it. So very curious where this one will lead me. And like I said, I don't know anything about it except what was on the back of the book. So I'm gonna have to try it to find out. But those are all of the books that I have picked up in recent months, so I'm really excited to get to these. I am hoping to get to some of them sooner rather than later, but we always say that here in a book haul. If you want to let me know which one you think I should prioritize, I'd love to hear it down below. And if you aren't feeling chatty, just go ahead and leave me a book stack emoji. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!